You want to rock?
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. We live. We live. And just like that, we right back at it. Welcome to the Dear Son Show, where we have meaningful conversations about fathers, those who are fathers, and the fatherless.
We're going to push through it. We're going to push through it. Push through
We
it.
make real-time decisions so that you don't have to say, I wish I had known then what I know now. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Black.
Other host, D. Johns.
What's up, brother? Long time no see.
We got to stop saying that.
Long time no see.
Well, the truth is, a long time no see on here.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in very close proximity.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know, man. Y'all keep praying. It's been a year. You heard a couple of the episodes that are out this year. We've kind of told you some of the story.
Yeah.
But it's getting real, man. It's go time. So I don't know where you're joining the story. So we'd like to get some background. I'm a father of 5, husband of 1. Today, my children are 20, 18, 17, 11, and 9. My 20-year-old is about to bless us with a grandchild because she thought that was fitting.
Come on.
One thing I realized is that you don't get to decide when you become a grandparent.
You don't.
So that's any day now. And I'll go ahead and date this one. This is early August that we're recording this. I'm not gonna get too specific, but she's due any day now.
Any day now.
So we just waiting, man. And then my second oldest is leaving. And I'm debating doing an episode with her before she goes, but I don't know if I want to cry like that on camera.
Because it's gonna
cry. I mean, it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. Wifey's working. We still pushing through it. Half entrepreneur, half corporate.
Yeah.
Getting to it, man.
Yeah.
What's good with you though? What's up on your side?
Same. Trying to recoup from this summer. Uncle Traveling Mac, as we used to say. Just a joyous summer, man. A lot of learned experiences. Just like you said, you got a lot of transitions, family transitions going on in the household. As those that follow us know, this summer I went to Germany, came back from Germany, went to Mexico, came back from Mexico, and now, as of tomorrow, because by the time this comes out, that'll be past. But as of tomorrow, going on one last family trip, taking the kids on a Disney cruise.
I think that's dope, man.
So we'll be back. We leave a week. We'll be back next week, just in time.
Y'all cutting it close.
Listen, wasn't my idea.
Y'all get off the plane and step into school.
And go to school.
Go right to school.
Yeah, off the plane, straight to school.
Hopefully that work out. But no, that's dope, man. It's for those that don't know, we've been kind of lean on our expenses around here because I'm still recovering from being laid off in 2022. 2 years.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
Really just like that. But God is good, man. We haven't I shouldn't say we haven't wanted for anything. We haven't needed for anything.
That's right.
So all is well in that department.
That's the blessing.
Yeah. Learning a lot about what I can't control.
Yeah.
So I think I needed that from coming from a position of control.
Yeah.
And leadership. Control of a department, not controlling people, but control and responsibility of a department. It's been an eye-opening change.
And that's the key. So, and we've spoken on that before about stuff like that. Life will present us with things like that, but this just the phasing.
Yeah.
For that next portion, the next thing that comes, I need this first, so that when I go into that, I have a new set of lenses for it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
More transitions, man. We something I've been struggling with for. Struggle is not the right word. I said that before. Something I have been avoiding for a long time was finding a church home.
Yeah, man.
And we think we found it.
Yeah.
We've been going to Concord.
Yep.
Coach all there last week.
Yep.
So
we leaning.
Yeah.
We have one more box to check.
Okay.
The children haven't been into the children ministry yet.
Yep.
And so I can't say this week, going out of town, but the following week, when we get back to town, that's the last step. We're going to go through there. And like I said, not that we need their approval, but it does matter. Their opinion does matter. On this platform, we actively talk about or discuss just a new approach of your children. They have opinions.
Yeah.
And if you're making a spiritual journey as a family, then obviously you want to take account. How do your children feel about, are they being led? Are they being fed anything? Are they walking away with anything or all they can talk about is the juice and the cookies.
Ices outside, snow cones. Yeah, so I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's it.
Yeah, same thing because I got introduced to it. I don't know if this is how you got introduced to it, but we went to the men's ministry,
The Brotherhood.
Yep. Yeah. So I took to that, yep. And that was personal, like because I needed that in that space, and I'm actually anxious for them to start back up.
Shout out to Brother Adrian Yeoman for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Got to get him back on the platform.
Yeah.
Officer Yeoman. No, he's what, captain, lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
My bad.
Listen,
the higher of whatever I said, or he'll correct it. The higher of that.
Yeah.
Now he's doing his thing, man. Shout out to him. And but yeah, introduced us, so that gave me a bit of comfort with the church itself.
Yeah.
But then we went as a family, and there wasn't a children's service the first time we went.
Right.
So we all sat together.
Right.
And it was interesting to see how I was really concerned about Eli, my youngest son,
mm-hmm.
like just him being able to pay attention that long. He was fine.
Locked in.
And after it, everybody had good things to say about it. They've been anxious to go. We've gone back consecutively, and that was the thing. So I wanted to get that muscle memory. But it's definitely a family decision.
Absolutely.
I can't go this long having not led them, and then them not having an opinion of like what helps them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I promise. I like it.
I feel good about that. So
it is. We're actively working on some changes on the platform, and we spoke about just being more direct. This one was a little more stretched because it's been a while. We had to catch y'all up on life, but we're gonna jump right into our topic.
Let's get to it
for this episode. So the topic of discussion for this episode is tolerance or tolerate versus enable.
Yeah.
To tolerate something
mm-hmm.
versus to enable something. Without me explaining it, breaking it down as we do, what hits you when you hear tolerate versus enable?
First thing that hit me was it reminded me of a post that I put up probably a year or so ago now, and I just said tolerationships. And just let the people,
mm-hmm.
let the world do what it does,
mm-hmm.
right? And it was interesting to see how accurate that was for some people's relationship. And I not just romantic, but, friendships and things of that nature. So tolerate versus enable from a parenting perspective,
mm-hmm.
when you a lot of things ran through my mind, and it was more like an accountability, because that's what happens when things go in the bank. We don't discuss, like you said, but it starts to make you think about where you are in life with that topic. So to make sure that you have some talking points, but to make sure that you're checking yourself.
Yes.
So I know that there's a lot that I tolerate out of frustration and probably more accurately laziness.
Yeah.
Because it's something I don't want to deal with right now because I haven't dealt with it. And the longer you haven't dealt with something, the more difficult it is to deal with it the first time.
Yeah.
So logic says keep pushing it off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The worst logic in the world. But I try not to. So that's the tolerate portion.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was on the right side of not being an enabler.
Right.
But they kind of go hand in hand. So if I'm tolerating something, by default, I'm almost enabling something. At least that's the way that I processed it. And maybe as we, flesh the conversation out,
mm-hmm.
that changes or adjusts. But
mm-hmm.
but yeah, I was more focused on tolerating where I'm tolerating things and taking accountability or an account of how I'm doing that. And I was easy on myself on the enabling, but they kind of joined at the hip.
Right. Same. And I actually have two viewpoints on it. I feel like enable and tolerate can be different,
mm-hmm.
but there's a certain level of enabling something to where now, certain level of tolerating something that now you're in the phase of enabling that thing. So the biggest thing that stands out with tolerate versus enable, parenting styles. If, especially within one household, imagine, because there's no guarantee that you and your co-parent or your spouse, whoever you're raising or rearing your children
mm-hmm.
with, there's no guarantee that y'all are on the same page with your parenting style. So one may feel like, hey, I'll tolerate a certain level of you finding your way or you underperforming by what I think is a standard.
That's good.
And the other parent may be a habitual enabler. So now they're doing things that constantly enable that child to be a certain way or do a certain thing or fall a certain level of short.
Yeah.
So now that can cause those two parents to clash and collide and have all of these misunderstandings about, you're making this way. Well, no, you're making this, and
Yeah.
they're trying to sell their perspective. But in essence, what it could possibly boil down to, because not every situation is this, one is enabling and the other one is just tolerating, hoping that the light switch eventually comes on.
Hold up for a second. I want to let's add another layer of integrity to this and read the definition.
Yes.
So tolerate, and yes, I'm this old. I'm taking off my glasses to read. Tolerate, allow the existence, occurrence, or practice of something that one does not necessarily like or agree with without interference.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to what's the other one?
Enable.
See what enable says. Enable says, give someone or something the authority or means to do something. Make a device or system operational, activate. So we'll stick with the first one. Give someone or something the authority or means to do something.
And to boil that down and strip that thing all the way down, my original perspective is tolerate is to put up with,
mm-hmm.
Enable is to equip.
Ooh.
I'm going to equip you to continue to act that way or be that way or perform that way. That could be your relationship. This thing, not just for parenting.
Yeah.
That could be my lifestyle. That could be my job. That could be my career. That could be my health. That could be my marriage. That could be my relationship with my brother, my cousin. You understand?
So let's pause it right now. And I think there's gonna be some back and forth on this one because I already see how things in my mind are shifting. Which is worse? At this stage of the conversation, this processing it to this point, which is worse?
In my opinion, enable. Enable. Because if you tolerate something, you already say, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
To an extent, at least to yourself, hopefully.
Yeah.
So now you're tolerating this thing that you don't like. One of two things are going to happen. Something's going to change, or you're going to burn out and you're going to walk away perhaps, or you're going to no longer tolerate that thing. I don't know that anyone that tolerates something that they dislike indefinitely.
Yeah.
However, to enable, if I'm equipping you, I'm your pusher.
Yeah.
I'm your supplier of your downfall. So now, because I'm giving you and I'm steadily making it possible for you to continue to act this way, do I feel like you have a problem with it?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Because that the conveyance of authority and enabling is a clear communication that this is okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah. Toleration is kind of not great, but it's like it's either unspoken or, like you said, it's maybe it's noticeable that you don't like it, but you haven't really addressed it. Or maybe you have and you tolerate it, but yeah, I get it. Enabling is a transfer of authority that, keep on.
Plot twist.
Here.
What if the enabler, they do see something wrong, perhaps an inadequacy? A parent's love, I can't stand to see this inadequacy exist. So I'm going to do everything in my power to equip my child with the necessary tools to present themselves as though they're not inadequate in that way. So I'm not fixing the fact that you're inadequate or you're underperforming. I'm enabling you to continue to be that way. I'm not pulling the safety net, allowing you to fall on your face for you to get the lesson. Okay, I keep falling. I can't keep falling. What do I do to change the fact that I'm falling on my face? Well, if I catch you, stand you up, you're going to take off running on one foot every chance you get, because guess what? I know for a fact my face is not going to touch that ground. My enabler, my parent, they're going to catch me and stand me back up. Plot twist. Because now, do I think you have a problem, or do I blindly love you so I see it, but I make sure it's not acknowledged?
I think that scenario lends itself to what I'll see teachers or educators post from time to time is the child is not always right.
Oh.
But if you got a a posture of protecting your child at whatever cost, no matter what the situation, like you're not even trying to hear the details, your child is gonna lean into that and know that they can probably get away with any and everything.
Absolutely.
While you think you're creating this bond, this this solidarity with your child, and y'all are gonna be close,
Right.
but you leading them down a path that is not normal and natural in the outside world.
Yes.
So I think that's where that challenge can be, and I have to catch myself. Like I don't have a child yet that had the school calling me every day.
Right. No. No.
I think we gotten called one time that I remember about twice. My sons, both of them had one.
Yeah.
1 and 1. But it's not like I had to the one time my oldest son, I actually went to the school. The second time, the teacher was like making me aware of something. It's like it was him and a bunch of kids and group of kids.
Right.
I looked at their group text and they were kind of, some of them were using language that wasn't appropriate.
Right.
But it wasn't a need to show up at the school. The first, my oldest son, it was they fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to go up there and see what's going on. But I had to manage my demeanor and my intent walking in because I'm already on my son's side.
Yes.
And where's his dad?
Yep. Yep.
Because if it's not finished, that's how we're going. It can't just not be finished.
Because I'm here for protection first.
Right. So I want to see and it's not like, where's your dad? I'm going to smack him. But it's like, I need to see the energy that's coming from the home.
Absolutely.
To understand what we're actually dealing with.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to my house. Right. If my son is wrong, he's wrong. He'll be dealt with accordingly. But if he's protecting himself,
I'm not going to discourage that.
And I saw on Tabitha Brown, Tab and Chance have a show where they were talking about some stuff, and he said something that was that kind of articulated without that situation, the other situation for me. He was like, my kids are never in trouble if they're following a practice or a protocol from the house.
Absolutely.
If you have a conflict with a protocol somewhere else, we'll address that. That's what he said. He's like, no, you're in conflict with the school's policy. School's policy is no hands, but if somebody smack you, that's rarely going to be the end of it in this house.
Absolutely.
So that from that perspective, it requires that education piece for your child to know the difference. Not daddy going to come in on 10 or mama going to come in on 10 no matter what I do. And if I say the teacher was wrong or the teacher is tripping,
right,
you're going to set it off. We're going to transfer that energy to my parents and they're going to take care of it.
Yes.
So long-winded answer, but that's why I see that kind of manifesting in real time.
Yeah. And I agree. Like the biggest thing you said in that scenario is obviously there has to be an initial plan at home. Like this how we move. And if things don't align to this, hold your ground until, hey, I don't have anything else to say. Just call my parents.
That's the other thing he said. He said, because I didn't realize they make kids write out and sign statements now.
I've had a conversation with mine about we don't write anything. We don't respond to anything. The minute it goes to that level, it escalates there.
Yeah.
Your next response repeatedly, if need be. If somebody asks you 50 times, 50 responses is call my parents.
Yeah.
Hey, what did you have to do with this? Call my parents. So where did this begin? Call my parents. Don't stop saying call my parents until you get on the phone with us or you see me or your mom walk through the door.
Right.
That's the bottom line. They cannot do anything to you for you saying call my parents. They have to abide.
So let's keep the plot twisting. Where in your experience have you seen the ills of either approach? Like personally?
Personally, I've seen where a mother's love for a son went horribly bad. I had a childhood friend that he was in a single mom household. It was just him and his mom. No other siblings, no man in the house. And looking back on it with adult eyes, I feel like she was overcompensating, trying to make him not feel the sting or feel lonely or left out, that it's just him and her. Like it became a unit almost. I got you if nobody else does. Well, now you're breaking your back to give him everything you think he may want. He can't hear the word no. If anybody in the world tells him no, you're going to go back behind them and tell him yes and provide something that someone else denied him. So when he became an adult, that's all he knows. He couldn't cope with no. So it led him into a life of crime.
Mm.
That crime led him to a life of drugs. And then everything just spiraled. He had a nervous breakdown, mental condition now.
Ooh.
He never recovered from that. All because he never was able to cope with no, I can't have, or that's not for me. We as parents, we've fallen so in love with provision and opportunity that we forget the lessons that come along with, or the hunger, the drive it creates. I didn't get what I wanted. I have to do something different. They don't know how to go back to the drawing board because their initial approach, more often than not, is approved. So now you get in a professional world and you're tasked with making a presentation, and they discard it or kick it out. That kid gonna have a nervous breakdown because he's never seen that before. What do I do now? They said no. What do you mean? What do I do now? They said no. We go back to the drawing board. I don't have a plan B. My plan A has been successful 1,000% of the time.
1,000.
I don't go back to the drawing board. I was talking to my 18-year-old the other day about there are corporations out here that will not touch a straight A student. You've never had to learn from a mistake. So now you're overachieving. Imagine that. All you've heard through your entire life is achieve, do your best, score first, go high. And then there's professionals that want nothing to do with you because you haven't proven what you do in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
Straight A's, you didn't, what did you go against? Oh, that was my study habits. That's my work ethic. That's great. But when things crash, because when you get in this real world, you're not going to be able to just read a book and go through A to Z what this book told you to do. Now it's applied science. So now when you have to face adversity or something that's not in the plan, you can make a solid plan. 300 pages. I promise you it takes one thing to crash all 300 pages. What do you do now? We don't know that because I can't look and see you failed to this grade level and now you recouped or you shook back and recovered back to this.
Yeah.
There's no track record of it.
I've heard of at least one book, and I don't know if the title was something to the effect of why A students work for C students. Yeah, why the straight A student works for the C student, something like that. That's interesting. I say for me, tolerating is probably, like I think I mentioned that earlier, is my vice. And I know with my son, and I probably mentioned it before on the platform, like I'd be so frustrated with him about a thing. And I would tell him that I'm frustrated with him about a thing, but I never explained my expectations.
But beforehand?
At any hand.
Even after?
Eventually. And it was like, I'm thinking that I'm giving him a pass by not snapping on him. But it's only building up resentment in me because he's not learning.
Yes.
Through my frustration,
yes.
My demonstrated frustration. And we got to a point where we had a conversation about it and I explained my expectations to him. He said, "Thank you for telling me that. I never actually knew that."
Wow. See?
And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's me, man. I have this weird expectation that people should know stuff. And I was kind of projecting it onto my kid, at least my oldest son for sure.
That's always been my flaw in my marriage. I always expected my wife to know something that, how you don't know this? Did you tell her? If you did tell her, y'all are two different people running two different lives and other lives that you're responsible for.
Yeah.
Did you check back in and run it back through and reiterate and check back in? I brought, and this may be off topic, or it could not be. This could be tolerate. I started to tolerate what I thought was a shortcoming of hers, but after I analyzed it, it was a shortcoming of mine that had been handed down to me from the style of parenting I was exposed to. Meaning, my parents had a policy of, I'm not going to tell you the same thing over and over.
My dad.
So if I tell you once, great. If I have to tell you again, I'm frustrated, but you'll get that second one. A third one came with consequence. So now, imagine bringing that same philosophy into a marriage of two adults. I told you this already. I'm not gonna keep telling you
Yeah.
that this is what I am looking for or need or want you to do or say or think.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you out there on your own with that one.
So that's as deep as I'm gonna go with that because that's a fork in the road. Like that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. And I would rather have mine here.
Yeah.
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 Because it might be the first time we had the conversation.
See?
On some type, but I'm guilty of that. Or even if I say something in a way, like my struggle was once I got into managing people, I was always in managed people mode.
Right.
And I brought it into the house.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, I don't actually work for you. At this point, I don't want to work with you. But yeah. Yeah. No, don't task me out.
Please no.
Yeah.
Don't micromanage me either.
Yeah. Because I hate it. I hate it, especially now that she went back to traditional work and she'll hit me with the, hey, can you
That's what we on?
Gotcha.
Bet. Run it.
Certainly. So let me get me somewhere back in the office quick. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. So from the kid's standpoint, let me ask you this. If you felt like what's in your opinion, what's a key indicator or because maybe in the listeners on the platform may be doing one or the other, right? They may be enabling and they just don't know it. Like I'm not intentionally trying to enable, but if I am doing it, what are signs my children can show me or I could recognize in my child that I think I'm creating a monster here, or I think I'm enabling, or if I'm tolerating? Well, no, just stick to that first one. I'll ask you that second question next.
Enabling.
From an enable standpoint, what do you think is an indication that I'm enabling this child or this person or this spouse?
When their actions get bolder and whatever it was. Trying to think of how to articulate it. So let's stick with the example I used earlier about the kid at school.
Yeah.
Right. Whose mom or dad is gonna come in here and it's gonna be they're gonna take my side every time. But they start acting out a little more in school. The calls get more frequent, or you start to see traces of it in the house. Maybe the one parent that's enabling, the other parent gets the sass. Right?
Yeah.
Mama don't.
Yeah.
Daddy said I could.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And it kind of starts playing the parents against each other, which is probably need to do an episode on that. Don't play me, son.
Right.
But I can see it there. I'm trying to think of an episode or instance where I saw it in my house where, again, those different, and I'm glad you brought it out, the different styles of parenting that's not malicious.
No.
It's just how you came up or, what
you got in your heart.
What you got in your heart.
Yeah.
So I use a softball. When we moved into this house, this is Keisha's house. And she's not going to feel any kind of way about me saying this because she sacrificed for years moving around behind me, jumping from job to, not job, but location, the same company.
Right.
Overseas and back. She fell in love with this house.
Yes.
So there was not another answer.
Right.
For the house, right? And get a little more creative background to it. We saw the house. We were leaving for spring break 2020. COVID is hitting. We don't know.
Right.
We also have about 45 days left in our lease. So at day 30, we got to notify them what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're going to re-up or whatever. So all those things are happening. She saw it. We go on vacation, and it is listed as sold or pending.
Yeah.
The world is all wrong, right? So a little down on that. We come back from to figure out COVID. We come back from spring break, and we're like, okay, so if we're gonna make a move, we need to start the loan process. We hadn't done anything, so we need to start that process to see where we're at.
Right.
put the stuff in for the VA loan, came back within like 24, 48 hours. Here's what you approved for. I was like, I'll bring that down. And then the house comes back on the market like that same day.
Meant to be.
Keisha sees it in the morning. She calls, we go see it, put an offer in that night. It was a little bidding war, but we end up in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, surely this house is going to have some rules and regulations and some expectations.
Yeah.
My pet peeve is all food items going upstairs, dishes and all these other things. Because the children were still young. We had a couple in high school, but it was still like nobody's going upstairs, eating, come right down and washing the dishes.
Right.
So I'm like, this is the rule.
Yeah.
No food upstairs.
Yeah.
Trying to, set the tone early. They homeschool. I go upstairs and Keisha has breakfast for them upstairs. Silly me. Silly me. I feel some kind of way about it.
You for the kid.
So silly me. I feel some kind of way about it because I thought they kind of agreed on like this is what we were doing in this house, right? Because this is an investment. And so I'm looking, it's like the what? Cool. Happens a few days.
Oh.
I'm like,
so this is the new norm by now.
Yeah, I'm like, thought we talked about having no food upstairs. They gotta have breakfast.
Bet.
You are so correct.
Bet.
How did I miss that point?
What was I thinking?
Because downstairs is not for that. Not downstairs in the same house.
Yeah.
And again, I'm saying this in love. This is all she.
And that's why I'm laughing because
she cool.
I love Keisha. She know how we roll.
Yeah, and she probably got 1,000 things. I probably got drawers on the floor right now. But anyway, it's those things where to me, it was a big deal because it was about setting the tone.
Yeah.
To her, it was convenience.
Yeah.
Like and she's upstairs with her for school and all this. So I'm like, I guess that's where enabling and tolerating. I was a tolerating parent before I said something to her, like to kind of escalate it, and she was the enabler of, no, let's take the breakfast upstairs.
Yeah. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
Bump your daddy said.
Yeah. It's okay this time. Mama said it's good. Yeah.
But that's why I see it, man.
Yeah. Same. I deal with that a lot, man. In my house with my young, well, I can't even single them out like that. It's everybody. All of them. They try to, like the episode we did on default parenting.
Yeah.
They play that defaulting parent role a lot. And they typically try to default to the yes.
Yeah.
I know they try to disguise it as mom has more understanding. Mom has more patience.
Mom's going to say yes.
She's going to hear me out and listen to the whole presentation. I see the end when you start, son.
No.
We're not doing that.
And that was me growing up. If I needed anything, if I wanted to go anywhere on the weekend, if I needed money.
I'm talking to my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my dad, I never saw him like, he wasn't one of the people keep $1,000 in his pocket. Seriously, my parents were on allowance for them.
See?
They get the $20 or $30 a week, and he collect a few of them or whatever. And I didn't understand that discipline. And I just thought like ask my dad for anything. I was like,
yeah. Talk to my mom.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Mama got me.
Yeah. At least let me get her buy-in so I can go to that with that cachet. Oh, it's on. I mean, Mama said she said check with you.
Yeah. See, I got something to stand on. See, this is my backing.
Yeah.
Mom said it was okay, as long as. Now I'm the villain now. If I'm like, well, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm the villain. Which sometimes I don't mind. I listen. I'm
don't
with
bother
it.
Me at all.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm glad she told you to ask me because it's still no.
Yeah.
She just don't know why. I'm gonna talk to her about that though.
Yeah. She forgot you was on punishment.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I did. So, the biggest thing we have going right now is we're getting the oldest ready to knock out his senior year.
Mm-hmm. Same.
So just how ready my wife is to go to bat for this guy. And you'll understand what I mean by that in a second. And I'm not, that's not a slug at her. It's more a slug at him, but I'm going to tie her in with her compadre.
Everybody get it.
So we're getting this guy ready for his senior year. College is coming. We're ramping up. Hey, you got to keep running. Let's go. You're going to take these ACTs. If they offer it 6 times, I want at least 3 of them. But that's her plan, though. I don't want to steal her joy because Lord knows she will correct that. So now, if our plan is to take this test 3 more times, and you're supposed to schedule them accordingly, if I ask you Monday, hey, did you schedule a test yet? Earshot. Well, he had to, excuse me. Pardon. I didn't ask you. I'm talking to this young man right here. You could be absolutely accurate, correct. He may have even told you this. My issue in that scenario, and the same thing happens with the littles. I'll be talking to one of these guys and she'll jump in. Well, what he did was, ma'am, I'm sorry. Let these young men learn to speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Adversity. This is a form of adversity. Stick your chest out and talk to me, son. Okay, great. You communicated to your mom what you had going on. I don't know. I don't want to ask her what this man has going on.
Yeah.
Get used to, if you have an issue and you want to communicate something to a man to man, come talk to me. Dad, I know you told me to do this. I got this going on, so it didn't happen today. My plan is, because that's what I also focus on.
Pivot.
What's your plan of action then? If you did fall short, what we doing next then? Because you know it's about to be asked. She does a great job of that as well. You can't just present her with a problem. You listing problems for the sake of a problem. What's your solution? What are you about to attempt? I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. You had no business presenting this then. I don't want to hear this until this is what I think I'm gonna try to do. That way now we can have a discussion.
Yeah.
Well, how much sense does that make? Like, what are we doing? Or what do you think is gonna happen if you do that? So I feel like that motherly love interjects so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
To where you missed the lesson at hand. Sure, he did communicate something. So you think he's wrong. Like I'm saying, you wrong, you didn't tell anybody. And you're trying to say, no, actually, he's not wrong right now. He did tell someone. That's not the lesson at all.
Yep.
The lesson is the person that told you, this is where the accountability lies in here. If you communicated to her, communicate it to me as well. But that's the other part of it. Don't run from the responsibility just because, well, I told mom she gonna handle it. She gonna tell dad on my behalf. No, sir. No, sir. You don't have a handler. Come talk to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm big on that problem solving versus problem reporting.
Yeah. That's two totally different things.
I think at work, you come in my office telling me about your problem.
Yeah.
And that's the extent of it. The company doesn't need both of us.
I promise
you. Like we got one of my managers told me early. He's like, he said, I gauge your success by how much time you spend in my office.
Listen.
And he had to say it twice. Because I would see people, he's like you, I got to flag you in. It's like, yeah, right. Because I'm on my way to do something, to solve something.
Always.
I hear people, going in there, because he was a laughing joker, which is cool to keep the morale up, but we got work. And we understaffed. So I couldn't really connect the dots of how anybody's laughing and joking at this point.
Especially in this capacity.
Right. And I know what you don't know.
Yeah. Right.
You should be in there for training only. But yeah, man. So that's I think that's, I guess we should pause it again. Like, where you still think enabling is worse?
I do.
Okay.
I still do. Because again, to tolerate, imagine you're tolerating something because you do actually see the change happening. I see you getting better. I see you making attempts and strides at it. Maybe you keep falling short, but I see you picking yourself up and going back at that thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tolerate it. I'm going to tolerate it, talk to you when needed, offer a hand, offer some advice if need be. If not, oh well. But at least I see you still chipping away at it. So I'll tolerate that.
Yeah.
I'll put up with that behavior or that whatever for now, that shortcoming. But if you in bliss, and I'm steadily giving you the tools to be in bliss with the shortcoming, to me, that's worse.
Gotcha. Cool, bro. Go on, land this plane.
Yeah. Yeah. With that being said, again, y'all know we forgot to say it at the top, but we'll say it now. Like, share, and subscribe.
Right.
It does matter. It does count.
Right.
Continue to support things that you enjoy.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is, often we say we like something or we enjoy something, but we won't support it and it'll go away. And then it's like, man, what happened to the place I like?
Love y'all.
Same thing, exactly.
Mm.
We do get a lot of messages,
Mm-hmm.
inbox messages, text messages from those that know us, that say, hey, really enjoy what y'all are doing, put out a great product. Y'all need to ramp that thing back
Yeah.
up. We're listening. Life happens. Life has happened. Schedules are happening. Things are merging back into place, falling back into place.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go, you got anything you want to put out or words you want to share? What you got?
Love Keisha J Studios.
Yes.
.com.
Yes.
And I still don't have a copy of the book. I need to keep a copy of the book handy. She has a children's book. She has a number of home goods that she handcrafts. And then she has the handmade jewelry, wearable art that I call it. And it's a fantastic thing. And my goal is to get her back to that space full time.
Yes, Lord.
Because she's really sacrificing right now for the greater good.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of that, man. Yeah.
Continue to strive for what you consider great. If that's to be a great parent, a great spouse, a great single person. I know we emphasize a lot about parenting and because that's this platform, but don't allow that to make you feel inadequate. Because some of these lessons aren't just for parenting. These are life lessons that we deal with in real time. This I told you, this
is to be parents and husbands.
This our therapy, man. This got to get out. It's got to get out. So again, continue to support, continue to look for us, and watch us grow. Peace.
They tried to count me out. I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account. Now I got something to spend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just pull it out and count for nothing when I'm feeling great.